Monday, August 26th, 2024. I'm stuck again in the place where I sleep late and wake up late. I don't like to do this because I feel crappy when it's the middle of the day and I'm just waking up. I've noticed that my phone alarm doesn't even seem to work on me anymore. I remember that I used to put my phone out of reach from my bed so that I would actually have to stand up to turn it off. I remember this actually used to work because standing up gave me enough time to remember that I don't want to sleep in late. Tonight I'm putting my phone in a hard to reach space, so that when I wake up I'll actually have to think about what I'm doing when I'm frantically trying to turn my phone off. I think this should give me enough time to really wake up. Remember why I want to wake up early in the first place. Because the early morning time is a time where no one else is awake to distract me. That way, if I get distracted while trying to do work later in the day, there's not so much at stake because I already put in some good work in the morning. Tuesday, August 27th. I feel like I'm missing something on a more fundamental level that will fix my sleep schedule. Something that I was doing before but have forgotten somewhere along the way. Alongside having a designated spot for my phone when I slept, so that I couldn't so easily snooze, I also had my water bottle full and my computer on sleep mode, ready with the work I plan to do the next day. I was also not eating so close to bedtime, also not so much sugar before bed. I was also not on some Andrew Tate Schmegma male routine where I only sleep for 90 minutes and work for 25 hours in a day. I was actually giving myself more than 8 hours of time allocated for sleep. Also no screen time about an hour or so before I closed my eyes. I was also trying my best to set my circadian clock, because that's what Andrew Huberman said to do. Hamza as well, and I trust their advice. Now, it's hard to say if any of this has any real direct correlation for the way I've been feeling now, tired and lacking energy. But one thing I know is that when I was doing these practices actively before, I was not always tired, and I felt ready to attack the day after I'd gotten over that initial sleepiness right after hitting the alarm. Maybe the results I'm looking for, like more energy, won't come with these practices. Maybe it's my diet that's the issue. I'm working on that too, but to be honest, I was eating pretty similar before, and it made no difference. Still, I will take this into account and try to watch what I eat. My lack of energy could be a lack of willpower, but willpower is, I think, a habit that is to be built, not just something that you have, and I am trying to work on that too, through disciplined practices and doing the hard work even when I don't feel like it. My lack of energy could be any number of things, but I really do think that is because I don't have a good set of systems in place to regulate my sleep anymore. So now this is what I'll try. Keep the phone far out of reach, just like last night. Have my water bottle filled up and my computer in sleep mode, ready with whatever task I planned the night before. I will go outside and get sun in my eyes for at least 5 minutes, maybe 10. As for a nightly routine, I want to make it so that I use the last hour before sleep to actually wind down, instead of go from 100 to 0 in an instant. I will wind down by either reading Vagabond or The Book of Five Rings, both of which I have paper copies. No phone or screens during this last hour. I will have already done my hygiene and set up my computer for tomorrow before this last hour commences. Maybe I can also use this last hour to write down my daily reflections. We'll see. I will also try not to eat anything, especially anything sugary too close to bedtime, as I do not want sugar or digestive action to keep my body awake. I will go to bed at roughly the same time and plan to wake up at roughly the same time every morning, giving myself more than 8 hours of allocated time, in case I don't fall asleep right away. I know that this is a lot to do all at once, but it is important to me that this be taken care of. So I will be patient and give myself time to become accustomed to this routine, even if it means slowly incorporating more and more of the practices one at a time as time passes. One final thing. I feel like kind of an idiot to say this, but tonight I will not be sleeping. My sleep schedule has gone off the rails in my opinion, and I do not want to try to wake back up after only 2 or 3 hours of sleep. I would rather maintain some of my headspace now and endure sleepiness than depend on the partial feeling of how I feel when I wake up again. I woke up pretty late last morning, so I think I'll be okay. And lucky for me, I don't really have anything to do except edit some videos and try to follow my daily routine tomorrow. I hope everything goes alright, and I'm excited to start sleeping well again. Wednesday, August 28th. I'm not gonna lie to you, I stayed up all night last night and then fell asleep at the very end. So then I woke up at lunchtime again. My plan didn't go as expected, but one good thing did happen. I didn't get as much sleep even though I woke up at 12, because I fell asleep not too long before 12. So this means that I maybe will still be tired enough to sleep at any early-ish time tonight. Even though this actually doesn't matter, because if I didn't try to stay up late last night and just stayed on my fucked schedule instead, I still would have tried to sleep early tonight. I have done pretty much everything I plan to do for night preparation tonight. The last I've eaten was maybe a couple hours ago. It wasn't anything too sugary, but maybe a bit because it had some honey. I have my water bottle filled already. My computer is set with tomorrow's task. My alarm on my phone is set and out of sight. Now I am writing this, and once I am done this, I'll read Vagabond, and then I'll try to sleep. The only thing I kinda missed is that it's not really that early to sleep. Not as early as I would have liked. It's like 11 p.m. right now. I want to try to make my final hour be at like 9 p.m. and go until 10 p.m., which is when I'd fall asleep, ideally. Instead, tonight I'll sleep at around 12, but this is still progress, I think. At least it's not 3 a.m. or 6 a.m. or even 1 a.m. One final thing I wanted to say about today as well. I've been thinking about my focus on this sleep routine goal. Hopefully my methods will just work anyway if I stick to them, but I wonder if I'm focused on the wrong things. I watched a video today by Elisha Long about prawn. He was touching on the idea that when you make avoiding prawn your main goal, it's easier to fail because it's always on your mind. I actually made my own video a while ago following a similar principle. In that video, I mention a quote from Vagabond: "Preoccupied with a single leaf, and you'll miss the tree. Preoccupied with the tree, and you'll miss the entire forest." Maybe I'm too fixated on fixing my sleep schedule, just for the sake of fixing it. Maybe a more effective mindset would be to ask why I even want to wake up early. If I need to wake up early, like when I need to wake up early for school or my job, it's easier to do so then than it is on a morning when I have no plans to wake up at 6 a.m. for. Why would I wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. when I have nothing to do specifically? Tonight I'll think about why and what I'll be doing tomorrow morning. Probably that video I set up on my computer. Anyway, calling it a night now. Be back tomorrow. Thursday, August 29th. Alright, to be honest with you, I didn't sleep last night. This was genuinely an odd thing to happen, but I just didn't fall asleep last night. However, now that the day is over, and I didn't sleep during the day, I am now tired as balls. I don't really have much to say today. I still followed my routine as best as I could, meditated in the morning, and now I'll wind myself down just like I did last night. The only thing I'm not doing tonight is keeping the computer on sleep mode. I just wanted to have it off tonight, but I don't think that it'll be that much of a deterrent in the morning. Also this morning, I got out of bed, even though I didn't sleep, out of bed around 7 a.m., which is the earliest I've been up in a while. And from about 7:30 to about 11 o'clock, I worked on my videos and stuff. So, solid day. I haven't been able to give that much time to just YouTube focus in a while, so it was good to be reminded what it feels like. And that feeling is pretty cool. Anyway, I'll check in tomorrow. See ya. P.S. Should I do this on the weekend too? Or just Monday to Friday? I was thinking just Monday to Friday, but why not just do the weekend too? Then post the video on Tuesday or Wednesday of the following week. Yeah, that sounds good. Friday, August 30th. I'ma be honest with you, I somehow managed to wake up late again. I didn't sleep all night and all day, so I went to bed at 10 p.m. yesterday. I was waiting for sleep literally all day, trying to keep myself busy. And then when I actually wanted to, I couldn't. I just laid there all night sweaty and bored. Then the next day after, I slept, and I slept for a long time. I slept for like 10 hours. And I'll be honest, this made me kinda disappointed. How could I still wake up late when I had more than enough sleep? I felt bad earlier, but tonight I feel like it kinda doesn't matter because I still did good work today, even if I did wake up late. As long as the work got done, I just feel like a day like today is kind of an outlier. And waking up earlier would give me more days like today, where I'm not distracted and can actually get into my work. I watched a video by Elisha Long and felt better because he reminded me in the video that as long as the dream is still there, then I haven't lost. Even if I have an unproductive day here and there, if I'm still trying every day to make progress, no matter how big or small the efforts, it means I haven't given up yet and I'm on the right path. One day won't make or break my entire life. Just keep trying. Don't give in. Saturday, August 31st. Today is the last day of August, and I'll have to go back to school in a couple days. Last night I set an alarm for 8:30 instead of my usual goal of 5:30, 6 or 6:30. It seemed to make things a bit more manageable. A lot more manageable, actually. Maybe I'm just not the kind of person that wakes up at 5:30. Maybe I'm more of an 8:30 guy. Because I didn't have a lot of resistance to get out of bed at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, whenever it was. When I wake up to a 5:30 a.m. alarm, and no reason to be up that early, then I find myself snoozing until like 11 o'clock or 12. I watched a video today about how Bruce Wayne manages his time. I swear I wasn't trying to copy Batman when I started journaling like this. The video was advocating for writing shit down and reflecting, kinda like what I've been trying to do now. One thing that stuck with me from that video was that he mentioned the usefulness of setting goals, monthly goals, and then setting up goals inside of these goals to make the bigger goals more manageable. I think I'll try to incorporate this in my life by defining the actual tasks I should be doing rather than leaving it to my whim. I actually remember Hamza talking about this in a video. I'll set my actionable tasks the night before, and maybe this will motivate me more to get out of bed, because I know exactly what it is I need to do. I think overall this week was pretty productive. I know that my focus more so for the week was my sleep, but I think that was a good way of going about this, by focusing on more one thing. I know maybe there'll be multiple at the same time later on, but I think to focus on my sleep and make that a priority was a good thing, because then now I'm not like distracted with other ideas. What if I did this? What if I did that? It's just the one thing that I cared about this week, really. So yeah, overall I think that, you know, I made some blunders throughout the week. I think that's gonna be consistent forever. I think there's always gonna be something wrong. But I think that as long as I'm trying to upkeep my sleep, trying to maintain a good routine, then I think that I'm on the right path. I think as long as I'm not completely giving up and just whatever, I'll stay up until fucking 6 a.m. tonight watching anime. As long as I'm not doing that, then I think I'm okay. If I go to sleep a little later sometimes, if I wake up later sometimes, whatever. Everybody does that. It happens to everybody. So yeah, that's this week complete. Take care. Just checking if the mic is still working after I fucking dropped it on the ground.